Okay, welcome back, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of the Money Mindset Makeover. So let me ask you, what did you think of last night? What stood out for you from day 1? Whilst I wait a few moments, I am going to paste into the chat the link to tonight's play sheet. Really should call it a play sheet rather than a worksheet. So there's a link in the chat now. If you don't have access to it, you can just go to the Facebook group. You can find the workbook there. Make sure you get a pen handy as well. You've got it printed out. You've got access to that worksheet. We'll be going through it tonight. Super exciting. We've got a closed eye process for you to really help you kind of connect in with a part that's crucial to creating the wealth and abundance that you want in your life. So let me ask you, what did stand out for you from day 1? You know, what was the thing that stood out for you? You know, punch into the comments. If there's something that sort of stands out for you, it comes to mind. Printing at the moment won't be a set. Awesome. You got about 4 minutes before we really kick off. I know for me, day 1 was important because it's all about creating possibility. It's about, knowing that, it is worth the effort and the discomfort that it's going to be required to strive for even more in your life. And we sort of talked about last night that we need to kind of let go of who we currently are. We need to let go of that attachment of who we currently are. And there's pain that comes with that. And so, day 1 is really all about building the belief and showing you that, yes, it is possible. Because when people don't know that something great is possible for them, they don't even start. They don't even start that journey. So, day 1 was all about giving yourself permission to dream again, to realize that you need to risk failure. You need to believe that you can grow and that you can change, and that's all going to be worthwhile going through that discomfort to achieve that. And, you need to really believe it as well. You need to believe it so much that you start living it. And then I can tell you, at the end of that, once you are living and you're believing, then your external world starts to manifest into aligning with what you believe and how you're living. And so you got to ask yourself, will it be worth it? I can tell you it will be. 12 months from now, 3 years from now, if you really give to this and you master the money as a game and you learn the rules, your life will be significantly different. It will be painful, but it won't be the poor painful. It won't be the struggling to pay the bills painful. It'll be the discipline painful. It'll be the, I've got money and I'm really disciplined with it and I feel a lot more certain around it. So I can tell you the pain of discipline definitely outweighs the pain of regret. I much prefer the pain of discipline any day. And so it's really about you being in a place where you get to choose whether you're going to stay the same or you're going to change. It's just letting you know I'll have to do a replay. Awesome. Great. Fantastic. Thanks for letting me know, Diana. So look, there's going to be ups and downs on your journey as well. And it's about, tonight is about having a big vision for that. So whereabouts are you coming from? Comment in the comments, what state, what city are you coming from right now? I'm in the Gold Coast. It's a little bit warmer today, fortunately. So where are you coming from? Melbs, Patricia and John, awesome. Great to see you guys on here. So just comment, let us know where you're from. Upwey, Shikara, Perth, Ballarat, fantastic. Perth, Berwick, Perth, Melbourne, awesome. Fantastic. Sydney, great. Bacchus Marsh, yep, know where that is. Tudier again, yep, 1 hour out of Perth. Thanks for that, Michelle. Bit of a reference point for me. Look, I know, I've been thinking about what we covered last night, and there's always another level you can take it to. And so I've been doing work on myself, and there's always more abundance we can create. There's always more wealth we can create. In fact, today, Jess has been going through our financials all over again. And she does this, she probably dedicates about 1 day every 3 months. And it's a pretty intense 1 day for her to go through it all. I used to do it, and so we've decided that about probably 6-9 months ago, maybe 12 months ago, that we're going to hand that over to Jess, because both of us wanted to be really clear about what we're doing financially. So we're both making good financial decisions. It's not just one of us kind of carrying the weight and the other person kind of, not having the same mindset. So it is about, I can tell you that it's been uncomfortable for Jess throughout the day, but she's been persevering with it, and it's worth that pain. I can tell you, it's one day of pain every 3 months to have 3 months of certainty, and being able to say yes to more things, and having that abundance and that wealth and watching it grow as well. So like I said, we'll kick off, but tonight is day 2. There's going to be ups and downs in your life, throughout your journey to create abundance and wealth. And you need to have a really big, clear vision on what you want. You need to keep focused on that, so that in those moments where you do kind of take a hit and you get knocked down, you're picking yourself back up and you're taking yourself to that next step. And there's always another step in front of you. Just focus on the next step in front of you to keep moving forward. Now, the challenge for a lot of people is they just don't know what they want. And I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, I think it was, and we were talking about they wanted abundance. And I said, what does that look like for you? What's your goal? I said, I just want financial freedom. I said, how much is that? And I hadn't really thought about that. They don't know what their number is. They don't know what is financial freedom look like. And this is the challenge for a lot of people, is they don't know what they're really striving for. They have this, what they really want is the emotion. They want the emotion of it. So they want financial freedom, which is this emotional sort of reward that they get from it. But they don't have a figure in mind. What's the figure at that point that they know they now have financial freedom? And so if you don't measure something, you can't manage it. And that's a challenge for a lot of people, is they're not specific enough about what they want. Some people are like, I want to be richer, I want to be wealthier. And so they walk outside, they find $2 on the floor. And so technically they are now richer, they are now wealthier. And so that's why it's so important to be really specific about what you want. And when you have this crystal clear focus on what you want and what needs to happen for you to be able to create that, then what you can start to do is recognize the opportunities to make it happen along the way. And there's science behind it as to why this works. And this is like the science of achievement. This is, why when you follow this system, it absolutely works. It works. It works every single time. It's just the challenge is it's not the system that's the problem. It's about whether you follow the system. That's the challenge for a lot of people, is they don't have the discipline, don't have the mindset to follow a proven system that is guaranteed to work. And so, that's what the next few days is all about. So let me post into the comments again, for those of you that came on a little bit late, here is the worksheet in the comments there. So you can go and click and open that up so you know what we'll be referring to. I'm going to bring this up and share my screen so you can see it here. Let's jump into it. Great. So just type yes in the comments if you can see my screen, if you can see the workbook on the screen right now, just to make sure it's all working as it should. Yes, awesome, thank you. Great, all right, we'll kick off then. So we want to start with financial literacy. And, no one's born with financial literacy. No one's sort of born with the knowledge on what to do with this resource that we all call money. And I'm not suggesting you need to become like a bookkeeper or an accountant, but what I am suggesting is that if you haven't mastered the game of money, then you need to learn the rules first. And that's what I would call financial literacy. So let's just kind of, put a line in the sand and find out where you currently are. So it's time just to do some self-assessment. I don't want you to see it any worse than it is. I don't want you to see it any better than it is. I just want you to see it as it is for you. What is it really for you? What's the reality of the situation? So on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not much and 10 being a lot, how financially literate do you feel right now on a scale of 1 to 10? I'll just move it up a little bit. So on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not much, 10 being a lot, how financially literate do you feel right now? So just put a number in, whatever it is for you, not any worse than it is, not any better than it is. Don't overstate it, don't understate it, just what it really is for you. And that just gives us a line in the sand. So now what we're going to do is start to, I did mention one of the things we're going to be covering tonight is the 8 powers that you can draw from. Now there's these 8 powers that help you create wealth. And so we'll start off with number 1, which is the power of choice. Can you move it a bit more? Shakara, can you see the diagram now? Hopefully you can. I cannot see it, sorry. Can you guys see that? Is it not working? Now I see it. Yep, great, it's working now. Awesome. Okay, great. So look, the power of choice is that it's recognizing that you have a power to choose anything, that you can choose any meaning that you give to a situation. You can choose any challenge that you choose to take on. You can choose, the meaning you give to failures. You can either say, well, this failure happened, that means it's over, I give up. Or you can choose to say, well, that means I learn from that. And there's wisdom in that learning. You can choose to listen to people. You can choose to ignore them. You get to choose how you feel and what meaning you give to every single moment of your life. And so when you have the power to choose what you want, that means you have this power. And it really is about choosing. Do you want to choose to be wealthy? Do you want to choose to be poor? It comes down to a choice, because when you make that committed decision, then you start a journey one way or another. That's the first power. The second power is the power of association. And so the power of association is that, we're all like this empty glass underneath a leaky tap. And this leaky tap just drips into it. And your environment, let's say your friends, your family, your colleagues, your partner, your home, your office, the TV channel that you listen to, the radio station, your newspaper, all the programs that you watch, they're all a part of this influence that's drip feeding into you. And so it's about knowing that if you want to be a gold medalist in the area of money, then you may want to surround yourself with 5 people that are better at money than you. And therefore what will happen is you will feel this power of association. You'll start to be influenced by those people. You hang around with 5 people that are depressed, you'll be the 6th depressed person. If you hang out with 5 people that are multimillionaires, you'll be the 6th multimillionaire, because you become like the people that you spend time with. And so it's really looking at that power of association. Now, flip back to power of choice. There's some tough choices in that. It's like, especially if the people that you're spending the most amount of time with right now are worse off than you. And therefore, you might find that, it's holding you back. It's sort of pulling you back. And that's where I was once in my life. I was doing okay compared to most of my friends. So I could be like a big fish in a small pond. And so I kind of hit a ceiling, and I didn't really have anyone to lead me further than that. Let's go to the power of competency. Michael said you want to spend some time together. Yeah, let's do that, Michael. Great. And so look, the power of competency is that, every big result is a result of a compound effect from small habitual tasks that are performed really well consistently. And so that's all you need to understand. It is not about, wow, I've got to master all of these things. It's just about mastering some of the core behaviors, the 20% that creates an 80% result. And so people that have mastered this have mastered the fundamentals. You want to master the small good habits, because what happens is they build into bigger results over years. So it's like the compound effect, which you've probably heard. To use a more tactical approach to this is saving money. When you save 10% of every dollar you earn, it doesn't look like much this week. It doesn't look like much next month. It probably doesn't look like much 6 months from now, or even a year from now. But 10 years from now, as it's compounding and you've just mastered that behavior of saving 10%, that's when you'll have a lot more financial certainty. Which takes us into the power of discipline. And that's when you change a behavior, it sucks. It's not nice. It's not nice because your unconscious mind, the part of you that's addicted to all the biochemicals that are created by the current behaviors that you already do, it's addicted to that. So if you spend money like you do right now, whatever you're doing right now that you do frequently, you're addicted to those behaviors. So am I. We're all addicted to these behaviors. And so when we change it, we go through this discomfort. And that's the growth zone. It's uncomfortable. It feels weird because it requires discipline, because our unconscious mind wants to pull us back, saying, no, get back to that biochemical drug cocktail that I've been giving you. We're craving that. And so we are addicted to this biochemistry in our brains based on the behaviors that we do. And so you want to make sure you're employing discipline during that transition point. Now, studies suggest anywhere from 21 days to 66 days to really build, to move from the discipline phase into the habit phase. When it becomes a habit, it just happens. And so that's where we want to get to. We want to be able to, separate ourselves from the addiction of those old behaviors, and then wait for that addiction to kind of fade away so it no longer has a grasp over us. And we really just replace it with a better addiction. It's an addiction to better quality behaviors. Let's go to the power of wisdom now. So what happens is when we don't fully understand things, we're sometimes fearful. And when you think about little kids scared of the dark. At one point, I was scared of the dark. I was probably scared to look under the bed at one point as well, because we didn't understand enough of what was going on. And when you grow up, you understand, well, it's just like daytime, but the sun's gone. And so when we learn more information, that's when we can gain an understanding. When we gain an understanding, which you can gain understanding from books, or you can gain understanding from online courses, but it's actually when you apply that understanding that you gain experience from it. And when you gain experience, that's when you gain wisdom as well. So wisdom comes from results. Now, that doesn't mean all desirable results, because whether you fail or you succeed is still a result. And so even when you fail, you've learned. I want you to celebrate, because you've learned one way not to get the result. Then we move on to the power of focus. And so the power of focus is we want to focus on what we specifically want. And the reason for this, the science behind it, is using quantum physics. And when we focus on what we want, we broadcast out this energetic signature as to what we want in our life. It goes out into the quantum field, the universe, and that's why whatever you predict will happen will most likely happen. That's why, studies have shown when scientists have thought, they'll shoot a proton in a certain area, and that one person will think that it's going to go through the hole, the other person will think it's going to go around the hole. Whatever they think is going to happen actually happens. And so, that's why it's so important to have control over our focus. You think about how many people do you know, or maybe you even do this, that your focus is on the fact that you don't have much money. And so what do you always get? Not much money. Your focus might be on that you're always struggling for money. And so what do? You get the struggle. And so it's really about giving yourself that gift of changing your focus. You need to develop the ability to focus on something that you really want, rather than something that you don't really want, but it kind of draws your attention to it. Then we go into the power of myth. So the power of myth is about evoking this power of giving yourself the gift of being inspired or being bigger and better than what you feel you currently are. We all have a self-image. Like I'm Shane, you're you. Who you believe you are has a limitation to what you feel like you can do. You're like, I can do these list of things. Anything above that list, I can't do that. And so there are things that you deem are realistic for you, but you may not believe that you could be a multimillionaire. You might go, oh, but Shane, I'm past that. You don't understand. I've only got 15 years left in my life, or I've only got 25 years, or I'm past years. People have these limiting beliefs. If you believe you cannot be a multimillionaire, I can tell you, you'll be right, because you won't even start. You need to believe that it's possible. I say multimillionaire because multimillionaire now is the millionaire of like the 90s. And so it's absolutely possible. We're in this global economy right now. You can do amazing things in probably around 3 years. And I would say all of you have, 3+ years ahead of you. You could be a multimillionaire if you believe it. It's about giving yourself the power of myth. It's saying, what? Even though I've made mistakes in the past, I'm not going to let the past dictate my future. And so you take on this myth. It's like, I'm going to be a multimillionaire today. What does the 5-year older version of me need to do today? And when you change your internal world, then your external world starts to shift as well. Let's go to the last one. So the power of contribution is all about knowing that abundance is really about having the ability to give back to people. You've got to contribute to someone in your life. There's some reason as to why you want abundance. And it's about recognizing that as you start to become successful, in fact, probably before you become successful, you need to accept the responsibility of being a leader, and leaders contribute. And being a leader and being a role model to both yourself, firstly, it's like, I need to role model myself. I need to be the role model for myself. And then about the people that are around you, the people that are influenced by your actions, not by your words. I'm so grateful that I learned this before I had kids, because I know the challenge for a lot of parents where they, my parents right now, they're yet to learn this sort of stuff. But, they were telling me what to do, but they were doing something different. They're like, save your money, but they weren't saving their money. Kids don't do what their parents say, they do what their parents do. And so it's about being a role model for your kids, being a role model for people around you, being a role model for your partner. It's about holding yourself to a higher standard by contributing to others that are in need. And so it's not just about doing it for you, it's about doing it for others. Sometimes we'll do more for others than what we'll do for ourselves. And so those 8 powers, the power of choice, association, competency, discipline, wisdom, focus, myths, and contribution, are the things that it's really going to help you firm up your mindset to stay true to your path, to keep moving forward. And so what I'd say to you, at some point when you just write these down, give yourself a mark on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not much, 10 being a lot, just how masterful you think you are right now in the area of these 8 powers. And it's just print it out, put it on a wall somewhere, put it somewhere it's going to be visible so you can reflect back on it and kind of go, you know what? I need to remind myself of that. I need to kind of remember to do that. Let's move forward. Is this useful so far? Yes or no? Just type yes, no. If this is useful, yes, yes, great, yes. Awesome, fantastic. Thanks, guys. Look, it's super useful for me. It was something that is just like, you know what? I really need to master this. So here's a mantra that I created for you. This is something I used very early on. Admittedly, I don't use it all that much anymore because I smashed it out for probably a good sort of 9 months or so until it was just completely installed within me. And so this is the mantra of the 8 powers. So this is how it would go. And I would encourage you, if you want to use this, which I'd highly do encourage you to do, is to record it in your own voice on like your smartphone or something like that. I'll tell you what, I'll mention something at the end. All right, so the mantra 8 powers is, I'm responsible for choosing my thoughts, my emotions, and my actions. And I always have a choice in every situation, as you do, right? I seek out people who play life at a bigger level than I do because I value their influence, and I know that we become like the people we surround ourselves with. Everything is a learned behavior. And so by combining a strong desire to learn with a belief of possibility with effective coaching, followed by sustained effort and practice, I can master any skill. Any new behaviors requires discipline before it becomes a habit. And I will be committed, accepting the pain of discipline because I know that it will lead to my ultimate outcome. And I will seek the wisdom of coaches and mentors who can share with me what I don't yet know, that I need to know to avoid the mistakes and distractions. I can have anything, but I can't have everything. So I will make better strategic decisions about how I spend my time focusing on tasks that are critical to my goal. I will not be bound by my past or other people's limited thinking in my belief that I can achieve greatness. I will give myself the gift of a powerful and resourceful identity. I am a force for good, using my gifts, skills, and efforts to contribute back to others who are less resourceful than I am. I am a leader, leading myself first of all, and then leading others around me, being an example to others, holding myself to higher standards, and making time for fulfillment and fun. And so I just got into the habit of saying that every morning. I just got into the habit. I'd say it to myself. I used to go jogging back then, and I would say it continually as I was jogging. It was like my jogging mantra as well, until I just lived and breathed it. And I can tell you, I live and breathe this stuff now. Wow, that is long. Yeah, it's long. It's long. It depends on compared to what. Have you read War and Peace? Have you read 50 Shades of Grey? Maybe not that long. Just depends on what you compare it to, right? Depends on your belief. What I can tell you is it's very short compared to the results that it created for me. So that's something that I would encourage you to check out. Now, what I'm going to do now is take you through the magnetic vision process. So let's go through this. We've got some questions here. So what is a specific abundance goal that you want to have achieved 12 months from now? What is a specific abundance goal that you want to achieve 12 months from now? So what does your number look like for you? Think of it like this. If you are currently getting paid weekly or monthly or fortnightly, maybe think about that. What sort of income do you want to be earning 12 months from now? If it could be something around your savings account, you could say, I want to have X dollars in my savings account. So I want you to put in a number as to what is the specific outcome that you're wanting to achieve 12 months from now. To know you've got abundance. It's just your abundance number. Again, remember the power of focus. We want to be really focused on what we want here. And then what benefits will achieving this goal give you in your health, your relationships, your business, and career? So if you achieve that goal, or more specifically, when you achieve that goal, what benefits will it give you? How will it improve your health? You know, is there some sort of health care that you've been waiting on or that you wish you could do? It doesn't even need to be like, you know, life-saving sort of stuff. It could be, you know, I wouldn't mind going to the float tank once a week, or I wouldn't mind going to get a massage 3 times a week, or, you know, how can it improve your health? How can it improve your relationship? Would you like to go on a holiday once every 3 months? You know, would you like to buy that special thing for your partner that they've always wanted? Yeah, absolutely, Michael. Look, it may be a bit of a challenge, and I am going to go through it fairly quickly, but I would always encourage you all to go back and revisit this stuff. I mean, we've got half an hour together. Need to get through it fairly quickly. Have a go at it, but definitely come back to it. Definitely come back to it and give it some more thought. So I want you to list the benefits that's going to give to your relationship, to your business, and to your career. And then what evidence do you need to see, hear, or feel to know with absolute certainty this goal has been accomplished? So if it is a certain amount of money that you're earning per month, it would be, how do you know you're earning that amount of money per month right now? Could be, well, I've got my bank statement. So that would be the evidence for you to know that it's increased. You'd be looking at your bank statement 12 months from now and seeing it increase. It could be your savings account. I'm looking at my savings account. I'm seeing X dollars in it. So you want to make sure you get to that one particular moment in your life, in your future life, where you know with absolute certainty that you have now achieved it. What does that moment look like? You need to be really clear on what that moment is. And then, as we move to the next one, what challenges do you feel you need to address and get better at overcoming to achieve this? Because we all have challenges. And now it's about, we now know what the end point, the journey is. It's now about looking at, okay, well, I've got this mountain to climb here, and there's another mountain there to climb, there's another mountain there. Okay, there's 3 mountains I need to learn to climb. I need to learn, they're my challenges. I need to overcome those mountains. The same sort of thing is, it's important that you know what the landscape is like in front of you, just fairly quickly. Go, you know what challenges do I need to master right now? Okay, I need to get better at this. I need to stop doing that. I need to go and get all my statements together. I need to go through my financials. I need to go, pay my taxes here. I need to get rid of that credit card debt. What are the challenges that you need to change or get better at overcoming? And so I want you to write that down. And then the next question is, what resourceful identity will you need to install to achieve your goal? So this is the power of myth. What identity can you give yourself that you currently don't really feel fits you, but is going to help you get that goal? Do you need to become a leader? You know what? I really need to be a leader. I need to step up and be a leader. I need to be a leader for my family, for my community, for my team. Does that connect with you? You need to be an entrepreneur. It's like, you know what? I need to stop being an employee. I need to move to being an entrepreneur. Yep, that's what I need to do. Do you need to be a business owner? It's like, you know what? I need to lock down being a business owner. That's what I need to do. Is it being an expert? It's like, you know what? That's going to lead me to the abundance. I need to really start to take on the identity of being an expert. Or is it being a professional? I need to take this seriously. No more of this hobby, part-time stuff. I need to be a professional about it. That's what's going to work for me. Or is there something else? Do you need to be a Warren Buffett? Do you need to be a Richard Branson? Do you need to be an Oprah? Do you need to be what is an identity? It can be a specific person. It's like, you know what? I need to be Warren Buffett today. Or I need to be, Richard Branson. I need to be Elon Musk. I need to be Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know if you want to be Mark Zuckerberg, but, whatever it is for you, what's that identity? What's the one that connects with you? Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. Just choose one. It may not be the perfect one that you use for the rest of your life, but it's one for now. And then we wanted to put it into this process. So it is now, and then what was the date 12 months from now? What's the date today? I think it's the 10th of July. Oh, that's really small writing. I got to fix that up. 10th of July, 2019, and I have, and then putting your specific goal. And I know this because what are you feeling? What are you seeing? What are you hearing in that moment? What's your evidence for knowing it's actually been achieved? And this is important to me because, and what are the benefits that it's going to give you? What that does is it creates this vision that's now magnetized. It's magnetized, but we're going to help you manifest the results. Do you guys want me to take you through a really quick process that's going to really sort of, magnetize is where it's magnetized, but now we need to draw it into you. Do you want me to take you through a quick process about how to draw it into you now? Yes? No? Yes? Please? Awesome? Yes? Awesome? Great? Fantastic. I am trying to be fancy and I'm going to put some music on. This is a closed eye process. So now that you're clear on what your vision is, I'm going to get you to shut your eyes. It'll only be about 2 or 3 minutes. I'm going to put some music on just to try and sort of soften the mood a little bit. Let's see whether I can get this to work. Here we go. You can hopefully hear this. And just get you guys to close your eyes. And I just want you to imagine that it's 12 months from now. And I want you to just imagine what it would be like to have that abundance right now and be that person right now. Imagine what it would be like to have that abundance that you've been hoping for 12 months from now. I want you to breathe it in and feel what it's like. And I want you to say that identity to yourself right now. I want you to give yourself that new identity, that new empowering identity, because that's who you've become to create this abundance, to create this result. And as you look back over the last 12 months, you know that it's been a journey of ups and downs. And as you think about that journey, you feel proud knowing that you've been able to achieve this. And I want you to see, feel, and hear whatever you need to experience to know that you have done this now. I want you to feel what it's like to be that person and look back on who you had to become and all those other challenges that you had to overcome to get here. I want you to give yourself the gift of thinking about all the opportunities that you now have available to you. I want you to imagine all the benefits and all the abundance that you can now create and all the opportunities and all the choices that you can make. And the fact that you can now extend these to your family and loved ones. And I want you to breathe it in and just allow yourself to feel those feelings even more right now. And I just want you to say that identity to yourself again right now, because it's such a great identity to hold. It has so much power. Because we don't do what we're capable of, but we do what's aligned with our identities. And you know you can be that identity even more right now. And I want you to think about the ripple effect that your life is starting to create. Imagine all the people that you've inspired, all the people you've helped, all the people you've given hope to by interacting with them over the last 12 months. That they've been watching you and they've seen the transformation in you. And now they too believe that it's possible for them. And just think about all the things you've been able to accomplish because of who you've become. How's that feel? And I want you to say that identity to yourself again. Just say that label, that identity, and just know that's who you are. And now, just to finish this off, I want you to find 3 things that you can be grateful for. Something easy, such as a beating heart, the fact that you're breathing, the fact that you're safe, the fact that you're warm, the fact that you're alive. And I want you to find 2 other things that you can be grateful for and appreciative for. And then whenever you're ready, come back to now. Come and open up your eyes. Welcome back. Awesome. Fantastic. Welcome back. So let me ask you, what were the 3 biggest lessons that you've taken from tonight? What were the 3 biggest lessons? I hope you can hear that music. I know it was a little bit soft, but I didn't want to go too overpowering. But what are the 3 biggest lessons? They're 3 biggest lessons you've taken from today. Make a list of them. And the reason why I want you to make a list of them is because it condenses down for you the 3 main things. This is like the power of focus. Like, you know what? These 3 things, I want to take away that. We've covered a lot. So look, tomorrow we're going to be going through the 5 wheels of wealth. We're going to be talking about the number 1 thing that stops people from creating abundance and how you can get your mindset sort of hacked to create even further abundance. And we're also going to be talking about your relationship with money. Some of you are in a certain area, some of you in another area. There's 4 relationships we'll be looking at that people kind of are a little bit screwed up with money. I know I used to be screwed up with money. You might be a little bit screwed up at the moment. I don't know. You probably are if you're here. But that's all right. We'll help unscrew you with money. I'm not sure if that's working as a metaphor, but we'll go with it. So look, guys, tomorrow's going to be huge. I can't wait. I'm going to jump into Facebook group, do a quick Q&A, do it live. If you've got any questions, jump in there. I'll answer your questions. Thank you so much for tonight. If you're watching the replay, feel free to punch your questions into the Q&A anyway. We'll speak again soon. See you tomorrow. Bye.